Okay, so here's the garden. In my last video, which would have been put up around about 3 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure, we planted seeds in this garden bed here my husband made out of old wood around the house. So they're coming along quite nicely. We've got some beetroot, tomatoes, lettuce icebergs, we've got some broccoli, some spinach, more lettuce, mini causes, and some tomatoes, like beefsteaks. So as you can see, they're all shooting up now, and it's going to take a while for them to get mature enough to put into the bigger garden, but we're going to separate these on the weekend. They just need to be separated. They're too clustered together. But we've got this going, and I think on the weekend we might head to Bunnings, and I'm going to get some more plants as well, because I have to harvest the spinach and that today because it's getting really big and there's little holes in it as well, so grubs and that are getting into it, so I want to eat that before that happens. This is the tomato plant now in the bag we got from Amazon. We've got a few in there, so see how they go. This is just trial and error for us. We're not like gardeners or anything like that. I do get a little bit of advice from my mum, who's a green thumb, and I just think some people are just born with it and some people aren't. Sometimes things work and sometimes they don't, I think. And it's also got to do with the soil and the climate. Okay, so this is the other garden bed. Now it's gone a bit crazy now, and the lettuces and the spinach has just gone crazy. My Labrador's involved in the video as well. Hey, Bentley. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the size of the spinach. I just love it. It's so big. Probably this afternoon we're going to cut some of that down. The lettuces are just gone crazy, and even the parsley in the middle there, as you can see, it's just gone beautiful, and it's got really thick stems on it. Like, it's been a long time since I've grown parsley with thick stems, so it's definitely just everything's growing really well in this little garden bed. In my last video I planted some shallots, just offcuts of shallots that I had in the fridge, and they have like doubled in size, so they've been put around different areas of the garden bed now, and it's hard to see them because it's just gone so crazy. So as you can see, there's some shallots there, but they really work well. So don't throw out your shallots, like the off cuts of it with the roots on the end. Put them in the garden because they will grow. Yeah, but I think there's a couple of different types of lettuces in there. I can't really remember now, but it's so good. So I want to get some more going, because once we eat this weekend, it'll keep producing, but I'll need some more to start up on. And I've got the seeds, but that'll be probably another month, I think, before that anything happens there. And this is the celery I put in the garden the other day. We just had another celery I bought from Woolworths, paid about $6 for it, and I thought from now on I'm just keeping the ends, like the base of the celery, and I'm going to put it into the garden bed. It grows really good, just like the shallots do, and and why waste it when you know that it will come up. These ones here we have cut down during the week. My husband thinks there could be some of those grubs in there that could be eating the roots, but it's still growing really well, and I don't want to pull anything else out completely, because we cut these lettuces down during the week and they've just come back again. Look, they just keep on producing, and unlike when you buy a lettuce at the shops, you buy the whole lettuce and sometimes you always throw the bits and pieces out. With this, if you want to make a sandwich for lunch, you just take a few leaves off. You don't need to get the whole lettuce out, because if you pull the whole roots out, then it won't be able to produce more. So it just grows back. I'm not sure how many times it will do that until it stops, I guess, but yeah, so this is all the little bits of spinach as well. We've been cutting this down during the week, and it's just come back again. So hopefully there's no grubs in there, but my husband seems to think there might be. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on going, just keep on like cutting it down and eating it and see how it goes, I guess. And yeah, so that was probably one of the first garden beds my husband built there. But like I said, this week and last week we've had bits and pieces out of it, and it's been brilliant. I haven't needed to buy any greens from the shops, any herbs from the shops, because I've got parsley, I've got herb mints growing really, really well. This is the tomato plant. It is starting to get little flowers on it. Nothing's really come of it yet, but it did have like a bit of like mossy sort of things on it, like those black spot. I didn't know if anything was going to come of it, but it seems to be doing really well. The basil's good in there. Now, these are the radishes. Try and get the right light here. I'm trying to show you what they look like. The bases of them are quite big now. They basically grow out of the dirt, and you can see the bulbs at the bottom. I pulled one out the other day, but it was just a little bit early, but there's a few in there. You don't get a great deal. These were grown from like seedlings from Bunnings, but I'm going to pull them out and show you what they look like later, because they're ready to come out, because one has cracked. And over here is the celery that I put in. Now look how good it's growing. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got really, like, it's starting to get thick celery stems on it. See that? So that's what happens when you plant your celery, and you don't want to pay $6 a bunch for it. And here, another thing is, you just cut a couple of little stems off when you want to make a soup or something. You don't need the whole lot in the fridge and it'll get wasted. Just pull out what you need. Our strawberries are growing pretty well there. There's nothing coming of that yet. There's no flowers on there, so I don't know if they're going to, like I said, it's all trial and error for us. You know, we've done garden beds before, but we've failed at them as well. Orange tree's doing well. The garlic shoots are coming up. We do have ginger in here. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, but I think we just leave it for months on end and see what happens. But little garlic shoots are starting to develop there. Now this is the mint. I put the mint in the shade. Bentley. I've put the mint in the shade because I know that sun can really kill it and damage it. Bentley, don't eat it. Don't eat it, darling. So what I've been doing is I've been putting this in some cold water and some ice, and it's really, really refreshing. It's grown like crazy, really. It's beautiful. It's starting to get thick, and the kids occasionally pick it. They'll wash it and they'll eat it like a petman, I guess. But I find it, I don't know, this one was just the mint, the common mint one, but it tastes a little bit like spearmint. Like, it's not too strong. Like, I like it. It's really nice. It says full to some part shade, full sun to part shade on it. This gets a little bit of sun on it, but not too much, and I find it's just growing really well where it is. It's mainly in the shade, but in the climate in Queensland here, it just gets so hot. I am starting to get concerned. Coming into summer, we might have to put a canopy up here, which we've done before in another area in our backyard for a garden, and just give it a little bit of shade, because I don't want everything to die because of the heat, and that's what will happen. So I just thought I'd just show you what's happening with the garden and where we're at with it. I will be harvesting, or we will be cutting down some of the things later and show you what it looks like. But yeah, so it's going okay. So far so good. And I'll show you some of the herbs if you'd like as well. Okay, my husband built this for my kids. They don't really use it, so I'm trying to design something where we can hang the baskets on. So he's just sort of hung it up there temporarily until we figure it out, but I'm thinking we're just going to hang all our baskets up on this. And yeah, just put herbs and things like that in it where I can quickly just pick out a few if I need it. And yeah, so it's grown pretty good as well. I like the baskets for these sort of things like herbs. We've just got, like I said, the rosemary in there. We've got parsley growing, and we've got thyme in there as well. Which is, I think I got this in a big basket, like a big pot from Bunnings. I think I paid about $15 for it. They're like a barbecue pack. They're really, really good. We've had one before. The last one I had, I think I had it for a year and a half, and it just kept on producing and producing herbs. Sometimes they've got about 3 or 4 different mixture of herbs in it. That's why it's called like a barbecue pack, and it's just brilliant. Everything's already in there. It's already pretty much fully grown for you. All you have to do is look after it and water it. And I like buying plants like that where you don't have to wait to see if they're going to fail on you. It's already there, and you can use it. But it's really nice to be able to grow plants from seeds and let the kids see how they grow as well, because they enjoy that. But it does take a long time, and sometimes they come to a seedling, or sometimes they don't come to a seedling, and then you have to start again. But it's really nice to try either way. But yeah, I'm thinking of just getting a few more hanging baskets along there and just put more herbs, or maybe I think you can put strawberries in them.
So later on that afternoon, we thought we'd start pulling some of the things out of the garden. I was really interested in seeing what the radishes look like, and there it is there. And my husband's just cutting some of the lettuce. I'm going to give some to my mum tonight. We've got so much of it, and they're just growing into whole lettuces, as you can see. So he's just going to chop some of that off. Here it is here, and I'm just going to show you what it's going to look like after he's cut all the things out of the garden. And I'm going to give it a good wash as well. So we've got some spinach and a big bag of mixed things for my mum. So I've got some spinach and some lettuce and things like that. I'm just going to put it in this clip seal bag. I'm not going to wash it because she can do that when she gets home. It's just easier to give it to her this way so it doesn't go soggy. And I've also got some parsley, and I'm just going to pull out these little radish here. As you can see, they're the radishes I've pulled out. Some haven't formed and some have, but we have been pulling out radishes here and there, so we're nearly getting through them all. There is a few more still in the garden, but this was just a little punnet we picked up from Bunnings, so it's done really well, and they weren't really hot. They were just perfect. They were mild, exactly what I wanted. Some are just too hot to eat, and we've just been eating them in salads and things like that. So we've got some herbs here. It's got some thyme as well, and I think a little bit of mint in there as well there. And we're just going to wash it up, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all nice and clean, because it definitely makes a difference. As you can see, it's all nice and vibrant red bulbs on the end of it, and these are beautiful, just so yummy. I love them. Such a beautiful colour. These really didn't take that long to grow. They were pretty easy to grow. Like I said, I did buy them from seedlings from Bunnings. So we didn't grow them from seeds, but I am putting seeds in at the moment and growing them from seeds just to trial them out. And I really love them. I just want them in the garden all the time now, seeing they are so expensive at the shops. They are really worth growing. So this is the next day now, and like I said, we were going to go to Bunnings, and we did. We went there really early in the morning. We've picked up 2 things of sea salt here. These are really cheap from Bunnings. I did buy some from Woolworths the other day, but it's cheaper at Bunnings. So we picked up some cayenne peppers here, and also some Californian Wonder capsicums. I don't know how the capsicums are going to grow. We've never grown capsicums before, but I'm really interested to find out.
So my mum gave me this little passion fruit vine that's starting up. Now I'm pretty sure she told me she just grew this from passion fruit seeds, and I think she dried them out first and she's planted it, and this is how it's come up. But like I said, my mum's just one of those people who are a green thumb. We're definitely not, but she's really good at this sort of thing, so I'm pretty sure I'll have to ask her again. That's what she said. But it's growing really lovely, because our passion fruit vine looks like it's got some rot in it now. It's coming back, but I'm not sure how it's going to go this year, to be honest. So I'm not sure if it was the soil that we put in there a couple of years ago, but it's just not producing anything, any leaves on it or anything. So I'm going to see, maybe I'll put some sea salt on it or something. But yeah, so that's the little passion fruit vine there. Obviously it's got a long way to go before it becomes a vine, but yeah, it's just amazing. Can't believe that she's just done it from like the little seeds that she's dried out. But yeah, so that's the passion fruit vine.
Well, that's our garden update today. It definitely is growing and getting there, and we are starting to, eat the food that we're growing. So it's starting to feel really good that we don't have to purchase these vegetables from the shop for an expensive price. It's just maintaining, the seedlings and keeping it going like a assembly line, I guess. Like once this goes, we have to make sure we've got the next batch going and all that sort of thing. So there is a lot of work involved, but it is really worth it. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video today, and maybe it's given you some ideas to maybe get into some gardening yourself. And thank you very much for spending your time with me today, and I'll see you soon for our next videos. Thanks very much. Bye. To be better.